Hi guys, so welcome back. So again, for my featured artist, I have the fabulous Rikki Spinner. And now what I wanted to briefly be able to show you just some of the basics that you could do instead of doing fabric. She has been willing to show how she does her papers, which I know you guys are going to love. So I'm not going to keep a yapping, and here she is.
Rikki Spinner, and I've been started working on this so we don't keep you so long. So under this glass mat is my eco dyeing papers. I'll give you a sneak peek of all the layers in here. There's lots.
And so she's basically, I literally went out her front yard and I picked out leaves and I picked out flowers.
And you mash them down. So this is exactly how I've been doing it. Okay, I put a paper on. Then I take flowers and I lay them around on it. And I take leaves and I put leaves on it. So I just throw anything on it. You can put them in nice order and arrange them, but sometimes, yeah, what's the bother?
And she even does leaves that have holes in them. She said that those make wonderful papers.
They do, because you can see where the bugs have eaten them all. And trust me, I have lots of bugs with all my flowers. Can we pause a minute?
Go.
Okay, so I put my flowers on. I sprayed my paper first before we started with this is alum water. You put 2 tablespoons of alum water in about a gallon of water. And alum is like what they make pickles out of. And it's food safe. So I don't buy in non-food safe. So then I put that on. Then I take my paper and I spray it. And I'm spraying it with my alum water. You can pre-soak your papers in alum water. I do that. But I found when I do that and I push down on a pre-soaked paper, it's wet and it tears easier. So I've stopped doing that. So I do this.
But can you use regular coffee weight or copy paper weight?
Yeah, that's what this paper right there is.
Okay.
I use all sorts. I've got down here copy weight papers there. This is drawing paper. This is book pages. I'm not sure what that was. This is copy paper. This is, I've got watercolor paper here. Can they see this? Watercolor paper. I've got lined paper I want to do some of. And I'm just doing a bunch of everything. In fact, I think I put 2 pages down. Darn, I did. So I just spray each sheet and then I throw my things down. I put some more leaves on. I try to get different varieties, shape of leaves. You can put the whole sprig down, but it's kind of hard. You want to keep them kind of down and packed. You have to pack your papers solid down. Keep doing that. My large weight here, I put on this glass mat and I put that on it to smash it down in between on thinking time. Okay, let's put some of this grid paper. It's grid on one side and line paper on the other side, and I believe this runs blue. I'm not sure if I remember, but I think it did. And I spray it down. You can put any kinds of flowers on it. I dried these just last fall from my garden. These are marigolds. I bought some flowers and I bought some, I can't remember the names, guys, I'm sorry. Anyway, I bought flowers. I haven't used them yet. I kind of been just using my old ones. And every one of these seed things makes a little black spot on this. So this makes it pretty grungy for my grunge friend next holding the camera. So anyway, that's what I do. And then I spray it again lightly, and I'm just going to throw some more leaves on top of it.
So basically, just go with your gut, have fun, play, just get it on that paper. And it's always, what is it,
This one's
a crap, is that's like a crap shot? However, you don't know what you're going to get. Just lay it down.
It's a flour lasagna.
There you go.
We're laying here and layering it, just like you do a lasagna. And we want to make it pretty. So that's what you're doing. Don't lick your fingers when you're doing it. Oh, alum does not taste good. Trust me.
And that's one of the reasons you want to get the food safe.
Yes.
Because, you know, we all have those moments.
Okay, then I can put these kind of flowers. These are dried petunias, and they're black. I buy the black and the darkest purple that I can get because they give the most dark, deep color for my grunge. Because I have a grungy friend. If
Yeah.
y'all don't know her, I don't know what to tell you.
Odds are you wouldn't be on this channel then.
That's right.
So I have a question. Could you use potpourri?
I've never used it. I threw
Oh,
my
now
potpourri
now
away.
we got to try potpourri.
Oh, when your potpourri gets wet, it's dyed, and a dye comes out of it. So yeah, that dye would dye your paper, but why waste the money on that when you can just dye it yourself with natural flowers or bought dye?
I only ask because I always find, like, people always give me like dried potpourri, or like in the secondhand stores, you can get it for like 10 cents. And
Yeah,
so I
that's
was
where mine
like,
went.
yeah. And so I was like, I was wondering if you could just use it. I personally, so you guys know, use that dried potpourri to make homemade papers. I like the texture of it. And so that's what I use it for. But you know how I am. If I always see something going on, I'm always like, well, could we use this? Could we do that?
So when I get done with my lasagna here,
Lots of layers. It's a chubby lasagna.
it's getting chubbier too. When I get done with my lasagna, I will put it in, I will tie it up tight because you want it compressed to keep the flowers in it. And then I'm going to put it in my gallon of almond water in my baking dish, because a baking pan, like a big cake pan. I right now have my roasting on iron cooking, and so I can't use that. So I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to pop it in the oven, and it's going to stay in the oven for about an hour and a half on a 350 for a while. Get it all nice and hot and bubbling, and then I'll leave it in there for a while, and then I'll turn it off and just leave it the rest of the night in there to cool down on its own. And then tomorrow we'll take these apart and we'll show you the results of all these. And in your water, you can put flowers, and or you put the alum water, and you can put rusty bits and pieces of iron, like this. These are my rusty wind
Bits and
chimes
bobs.
that kind of blew apart. Well, they didn't blow apart. I asked John, my husband, to cut them apart. Here's some rusty wire. I got a great big roll out of it because he was taking it to the sell thing, and I confiscated it off his truck. So,
Could you pour rust water? Like, I have a big bucket of rust water. Could you pour that over all these papers?
yes.
Okay.
Good.
Ooh.
Alum is a Morton. And what a Morton does is it brings out the color, It makes the paper, the material, absorb and stick the color to the paper, and it holds it. Without the Morton, you can do it, but the color kind of fades off fairly fast, and you don't get as good of results with it. So you want to get more bang for your buck out of your flowers. Now these are dried flowers, and I'm tired tonight, and I can't think of their names all of a sudden. They're the flowers that in Hawaii they make the leis of, and they're about like this big around with a great big leaves. But when they dry, you get this little stubby dried crepe paper thing, and I cannot think of for a minute what the name
And
of it
I
is.
would love to help. It starts with an H, right? Does it? I don't know. I lived in Hawaii. Don't know. I do not have a green thumb.
Azaleas? Is that no?
I really don't know.
I don't know. If anybody knows, tell
Yeah.
Jackie, because
Yeah,
I can't
let me know.
remember. And no, I don't have these growing in my yard. Well, yes, I do. I just got them. I have like 7 plants growing in my yard. I babied them all through the winter. We put buckets over them and everything. But they're not native to Idaho, the cold weather, but they've got a breed of them now that's working really good with it. And they have beautiful leaves. In fact, here is one of their beautiful leaves. And in the fall, they give off the reddest, dark burgundy color. I'll put that one right there. It needs it there. And anyway, they are beautiful. But,
Does it matter which side the leaf goes up?
okay, the bottom part of the leaf gives you the most texture and color. And the best time to take your leaves is in the fall. And the leaves that fall off the tree, not picked, when they've dried up enough that they fall off the leaf before they turn brown or anything, just fall off the leaf, those are the ones that give you the most color of all. Because after they fall, they start going back the other way to die in. So it's like they ripen and then they fall and then they die. So if you can get them then, and people, if you don't have flowers, if you don't have leaves, they
like me,
don't have to be fresh. You can use fresh. You can use dried. These are my lilies that dried up. Went out and grabbed them off my leaf tree today. These are petunias that dried up, were ready to die. They did die out there. I was out there, I picked them all off. I just throw them on, like I said, it's a lasagna. What do you put on your lasagna? Everything. Well, if you cook like I cook. It's everything but the kitchen sink, my daughter says. Anyway, if you don't have the stuff to do this, I go all over the town and I ask people if I can pick their dying buds off, and I don't ever take any of their live plants. I only prune for them, and most likely people will allow you to. And this one man allowed me to, but then he wanted me to finish pruning the rest of his yard, and I said, no, I can't. And he says, yes, you can. And my daughter and I ended up helping him with his yard work because he didn't have a lot of lilies that I wanted. So, anyway, there's always people. There'll be some that'll say no, and you say, okay, thank you, I just wanted to ask. And 9 times out of 10 they will. And then there's people that'll even save them for you and put them in a sack. And then you forget to go get them. And then they call you up on the phone because they know who you are and chew you out. So please, if you ask them to save them, remember, anything works. Some give color, some just give the shape. This is just a shape giver. But with the rust in it and the color from all the other flowers, it outlines them, it goes into them, and it makes them beautiful. And see, look at, that even smells good. And it, no wonder it smells good, it's mint. I thought it was lamb's ear, or lamb's wool, whatever it's called. Oh, this is my lamb's wool. I don't know. Like I said, I'm tired tonight. I don't know much, so don't quote me on anything. I just kind of throw crap on it, I'm sorry. I throw leaves and flowers on it, cook it up,
which is why I love and adore her, because that's kind of how y'all know I work. Is I don't know if it's going to work. I just start throwing stuff together, and we hope for the best. And generally, it always does work out. And the very few that don't, I still can use. Nothing has ever been wasted. Even like some of my biggest mistakes, like you figure out how can I either take it apart or how can I use it.
And I always have everybody wanting my papers. And I don't sell, I don't make them. I just do it for fun, and it's fun for me. And I share them with, what's your name?
Sugar.
I share them with Sugar Jackie, that's it. I share with her because I love her so much. And I may be starting to try to sell some. We'll have to see how life goes. Anyway, I just wanted to show you how I've had a lot of people on my Facebook page when I post pictures of what I do. This is chives, by the way. If you don't like eating them, use them for eco dyeing.
Yes.
I do a lot of eco dyeing. These are my geraniums I picked last week, and I dried them, and then I picked them off so there's no stems. Well, there's a leaf or two in here. Little dirty dogs got in there. Oh, I bet those were my buds. The buds give the biggest thing, and I just threw them out. Look at all the color from the alum water. See, the alum starts bringing out all this color. See, and it'll have nowhere to stick to my mat because it's going to get cleaned up. This is the dark ruby reds. Those pink, I don't know how they'll go because I've never had those before. And I thought I was getting dark pink, and I was having a bad day, and heck, I don't know what I got. But anyway, I only have like 12 or 13, 14 pots of flowers this year. Last year I had 85, and some were this big around, and my husband said, I'm not doing this many. You're cutting back this year. And I said, yes, I am. I'm too tired. He does all the work around here. I just sit around and look pretty, so.
Listen, when your Alexa says, good morning, princess.
That's me. That's what my daughter and my husband call me. How's Princess doing today? They like to mock me. But they love me, and they take good care of me.
And it's because she's so fabulous. And I'm telling you, I have been trying to get her to sell for a really long time. But I also understand it's taken me a really long time to step out and do it. And it's just because life is busy. And especially if you have any kind of health challenges. But that is one thing I would love to encourage other people. Like, you know, even if you're not going to sell or you have a lot of challenges in your health or whatever, I wanted to show you, Rikki goes strong, and she makes some of the most beautiful things. Does some days she can't do it? No, she doesn't do it. But when she creates, she is literally leaving a legacy. You know how we find all those vintage photos and all of these old book pages? Look how much joy they bring all of us. Her papers will bring joy for generations. Her fabrics will, because there's always going to be somebody who's going to appreciate this. So I'm grateful, and thank you, Rikki, that you got on here to do this. And I will continue. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying to get her to do it. But either way, she has been gracious enough to show you her process.
Okay, let me tell them something else. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, I need to tell you that when you do this, you can put rusty things in, because that helps hold
the papers together?
Hold the color to the paper, like a Morton. Tea, coffee, rust, soy milk. You can soak your fabric in soy milk. That to me disgusts me. I would never do that. Onion skins. See my big bag of onion skins? Red and yellow are beautiful. And you don't have to even eat onions if you don't like them. You just go to the grocery store. They don't care if you clean out the bottom of their box of onions. Don't peel them off the onions. They won't appreciate you doing that, I'm sure. But you can gather them up underneath, put them in a bag, and when you walk out, say, oh, I just grabbed these out of the box. These were just onion skins.
And that kind of is what so that stuff is what this stuff does. If you are not able to get that, that's what she is explaining to you, that this...
No, they're different.
They are different?
It's different. Alum water works the best of everything, but yeah, you can do it without. I never do without, because I did, and it just wasn't as good. Alum isn't that expensive if you get it online. In the store, you get a little bottle like this, about this big around, for about $4 or $5. That killed me. I can't do that. That's just too much. But that bag there is only like 12 to...
So this is 1 pound, and I'm sure that you could probably get this on Amazon if you live in a little town like me. So, yeah, and like we all have onions and things like that. So I have a question. If they're not into grunge like me,
don't put the rust
don't
in.
put the rust in. And then that's when they should just use the onion skins. Mm-hmm. Okay, so there you go. So that was for all my shabby chic people.
Or a little bit of tea or
tea or coffee.
Yeah, anything like that. Just to give it some color, a little bit more. I have these flowers that give a lot of color, I'm telling you. This will be real colored. And that's all there is to it. And then I smash it down as hard as I can get it. I'm going to put my tile on it and my weight. And then I'm going to go take a little rest. Then I'm going to come back and I'm going to tie this sucker up with twine. That is
so if you go back to the last video, it actually shows where Rikki tied together the fabric. It's the exact same principle. You want to, sorry guys, there's a little water splatter there. No worries. And so you just want to get it super, super tight.
You want a good connection between your paper and your material.
So just wrap that sucker like around and around and around. Now I had asked Rikki on the last video, like the thicker your twine is, the less you have to wrap it, obviously, because it's thicker, so it takes up more space. So just make sure you really, really wrap this up really tight, because she was saying that it's like that pressure that is going to press it all into your papers.
And you don't have to use twine either. You can use gator mouth clips, those ribbed gator mouths. And you can use, in mine, what I do sometimes, I don't wrap it because I'm tired by the time I get done making a mountain here. I put one tile underneath, one of these glass tiles underneath, and one on top, and 3 big rocks on top of it, and pop this into my oven. I also do this in a roasting pan. You can find these things at thrift stores for really cheap. And I have a great big roasting pan, and I do them in that too. And you can also, which we might show, how I wrap them around things and cook them on top of your stove on your burner. You can do that too.
Woohoo!
So there's always, there's a lot of ways
that
you can do this to make this work for you.
And she, as you can see, she said in the last video, but in case you're just joining us, what that is just a little cheap cookie sheet that she had gotten at the dollar store. Okay.
See the rust on it?
Yeah. And so then she has beautiful rests, which I personally live in a town that, and weather and climate that is going to, it's cold more times than it's hot. And so I'm just leaving a whole bunch of stuff out this fall. I'm just going to leave tons of stuff in buckets, and I'm going to let nature do its thing, and then next spring I'm going to have all the bits and bobs I could possibly want, and I wouldn't have had to do anything.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm always looking for how can I do 12 things into one step and move on to the next.
Amen, sister.
Oh.
Okay, I'm just putting a bunch of flowers there. Give it a squirt. Let's see what I have in my bag of leaves that Jackie picked for me. And they don't have to have blooms, just shapes. That's all we want is shapes. Well, we want both, actually. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Sorry, please forgive me.
Yeah, so my wonderful friend is getting tired, guys. So I'm going to let her squirt this one thing up, and then she puts this glass on top. And now this is the point, after you've kind of got that wet, that you're going to wrap a bunch of twine around. Or you can just plop that sucker right on there. There you go.
Let it sit overnight if you want, and you'll get some color from that, but it won't be as good as if you cook it. And you can steam them too, which is another process, instead of letting the water touch them. I practice, I do this all the time because I can't remember what I do or what I didn't do, and I'm always experimenting with different products and different ways to do it.
And that's why everybody wants her papers, is because she's not afraid to step out. She just keep trying and trying. So guys, I will do my very, very best to make sure that I photograph when she pops them in the oven. And do you want me to pause this? Do you want me to start a new video? We'll start a new video?
We'll start a new video.
All right. I sure hope that you are enjoying this. I know she's a wealth of knowledge, I'm telling you. And yeah, so I hope this is helpful. And guys, remember, we're doing the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. I have no idea if we're already there, because I've been bopping around here. And so make sure you like, share, subscribe. I have all these amazing other artists that have joined me, which I'm so grateful for. So when you share on your personal page, wherever you share, just make sure that you tag me, because that will tell me that you have done it, so I can add you to my giveaway. And for every artist that you go ahead and you tag me on, I'll add your name again to the giveaway. So I truly appreciate each and every one of you, and I'll see you on the flip side for the finishing up of this goodie. Bye guys.